In this video, we'll explore calculating the median using Swift. The median is different from the mean because we aren't just finding the average of the data. We want to try and find what the middle number is. So that's pretty easy with a small data set because at the moment we've got 9 records, so we can easily find where the middle of it is. However, it becomes a bit more difficult when you're dealing with larger data sets. Generally, with these larger data sets, we'll need to find the minimum, we'll need to find the maximum, the lower quartile, the upper quartile, and then we can find what the median is. So you can see here the calculations for Q1 and Q3 so that we can calculate those with our data set. If we were to visualize our median, the best way to do this would be to use a box and whisker plot. So the vertical line represents the median, the box shows the lower quartile and the upper quartile, and then we can see the tail here which shows the extension of the range. So now let's move back into Swift Playgrounds and continue on with our extension of our array that we were creating before. So we previously looked at range, we looked at sum, we looked at mean. We're now going to look at the median. So we're going to use some of the previous extensions in order to create this. So if you haven't seen them before, please make sure you do go backwards. So start off with a function, obviously going to call this median, and it will return an element the same way that it did previously for our other extensions. We have a little bit of logic built into this. So obviously if the count is divisible by 2, then we can set 2 numbers. The first median number is just going to be the sorted list. I'm going to find which element is in the middle there, so divided by 2. So how many numbers there are divided by 2. That'll find that first quartile. Then we can find the third quartile by doing the count, but minus 1 this time. That'll just find the other side of that number. By adding both these numbers together and dividing it by 2, we'll be able to find the median. It's a little bit more complicated less complicated if the numbers aren't divisible. As we saw when we had 9 records, we could just simply find the middle number. So we can sort our numbers, all of our list items again, our records. So as we did above, we can find the item within the list, which is the count divided by 2, which should be that middle number. Then we can test out as we did previously. So I'm just going to copy and paste that previous output, change that to median, and then we should now have our extension method available for us to test. What we want to see is something similar to the mean, but we want it to be a number that actually exists within our records, which is 42.5.